Welcome back. It is said that his iPhone has a logo with a full apple and that the Alamo remembers him. His carry-ons are not required to fit in the overhead compartment, and he is the real mastermind behind WikiLeaks, not Julian Assange. And he is actually Oprah Winfrey's half-brother. It's true, I swear. Ladies and gentlemen, a few minutes with Jordan Breen.
It is Super Bowl week, and for the last half decade, it means it's also UFC week, as UFC 126 hits Sin City this weekend. Zuffa's Super Bowl weekend cards are typically strong affairs, and this card is definitely no different. It's been more warmly received than any UFC card in quite some time, with top-to-bottom excitement and very competitive matchmaking. It's reflected in the main event between Anderson Silva and Vitor Belfort, with the middleweight mantle on the line. However, in this all-Brazilian battle, it actually does matter more to their homeland than you might imagine. The assumption is that Silva Belfort's a big deal simply because Anderson Silva is facing a fighter who could actually contest him on the feet for once, in a way that other opponents couldn't. Throw in Silva's recent run of injuries and lame in-cage performances, and Belfort's highlight reelings of Rich Franklin and Matt Lindland, and people seem to think we might be in for a potential upset, or vice versa, that the magnitude of the moment could really rouse one of those virtuoso performances from Anderson Silva. However, the greatest importance of Belfort Silva actually exists in Brazil. Something fans need to be aware of is that Vitor Belfort is still, by miles, the most popular and well-known fighter in Brazil. When you talk to people in the MMA world, the most important fighters of the last generation are always Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira and Vanderlei Silva. They're the icons, the inspirations for this generation of Brazilian MMA fighter. However, in terms of simple popularity, Vitor Belfort still trumps all. His poster boy good looks, his reality TV show stints, his long history with MMA, and the fact that he married Joana Prado, who at the time was regarded as Brazil's most beautiful pinup girl and model, make him an infinitely more Noel commodity in the casual Brazilian audience. Win or lose, when August rolls around and they head to Rio, Belfort will be the single most important factor in determining the success that the UFC has when they go back to Brazil. He's still their biggest draw there by light years. However, going on 5 years into his middleweight title reign, Anderson Silva is actually starting to become a bit of an emerging star himself. In the months following his win over Chael Sonnen, the Spider finally found his way onto Brazilian TV networks and talk shows and the like. Most recently, he was signed with Nine, the sports marketing company of soccer legend Ronaldo. The company will be bringing Anderson Silva a respectable extra 6 figures for his forthcoming fight with Vitor Belfort. And of course, a victory would represent the major champion of Brazil's great win over the most known commodity that Brazil fighting has. So the stakes for both fighters in the UFC are considerably larger than most people would imagine. Either the biggest star they have in Brazil would end up becoming champion, or their champion might end up moving further along, becoming a major star in Brazil. Both of those are pretty great outcomes. Super Bowl weekend is always important to America, but it's unique that it might be relevant in some way to the Brazilian sporting public. Next thing you know, they might start playing real football.
Thank you again for joining us on another episode of Fight Week. Be sure to log on to fightweek.sherdog.com and come back throughout the week. We have great interviews that you don't get to see in the show, as well as some of the amazing footage that we have in the Vault. The Vault will take you back with interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and funny moments with fighters and celebs like Chuck Liddell, Ice-T, Mickey Rourke, Nick Diaz, and so many more. Also follow us on our new Twitter, @FightWeekShow, for an inside look at the show. We'll catch you next time right here on Fight Week.